Hello again, and welcome back to the Boston Commune. This week's incredulous installment will feature commentary from Comrade Scott, Joe, Ellie, and myself. You'll hear us allude to a conversation on gender with Comrade Kit. That discussion will instead take place in an upcoming episode. Incredulity abounds nonetheless, so for now, please do us a favor and share this content. Do yourself a favor and enjoy your epoch.
Should we begin with some current events? Should we continue the conversation that we were already having, Joe?
Sure. I mean,
wet ass P-word.
Some shit happening in the world.
Wet ass P-word.
What happened in the world this week?
I'm pretty sure we're on the brink of sleepwalking into World War III this week. Because there's a border conflict that's been raging for the past 3 days, or 2 days, since it's Tuesday, since Sunday, between Armenia and the Republic of Azerbaijan over disputed territory. And the context, for background, it's about a border dispute in this region called Nagorno-Karabakh in southwestern Azerbaijan. Now, the interesting thing is that it's a region that is internationally recognized as being part of Azerbaijan, but it is a ethnically Armenian population that doesn't really recognize the government's authority and is essentially a de facto independent state backed by Armenia. And this is all the culmination of another ripple effect of the end of the Soviet Union, because back when they were part of the 23 constituent republics of the USSR, there were all of these different contradictory borders, but it didn't really matter since it was all part of the Soviet Union. And then the Soviet Union dissolved, and all of a sudden these contradictory borders all of a sudden become important because now they're separate nation states. And there have been flare-ups a couple times. There was a flare-up 4 years ago. And the reason why I think it could be a global situation is that Azerbaijan shares borders with both the Russian Federation and Iran. Armenia shares borders with Iran and Turkey. And Iran is already strongly in support of Azerbaijan. The Russian Federation is siding with Armenia, and Turkey is siding with Azerbaijan, and Armenia is being supported by Russia. Iran might get involved. And this region is near one of the main oil pipelines that funnels about 5% of the European Union's oil and gas needs out to Europe. So it's not just some irrelevant border dispute, it's a border dispute next to a major oil pipeline.
So there's something more important than Trump's taxes going on right now, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Because that's what I thought you were going to open with. Wow. What do you think about where that's going to go? Bad? Sounds not good.
Yeah, it sounds not good. The UN Security Council is going to be meeting this week about that at the urging of Germany, the UK, and Belgium. Because let's be real, everyone who is paying attention understands that Germany is in charge of Europe at this point. From an economic perspective, Germany makes most of the shots at this point. So I guess the Germans decided that maybe this probably for the best for Europe that shit doesn't pop off in the Balkans.
Oh, that sounds pretty familiar to something that happened before.
Yeah, I know. Strange sense of deja vu if you were alive 100 years ago.
Sounds bad.
Sounds bad, not good.
What else is going on? Oh, right.
Trump didn't pay, or only paid $750.
Yeah, Trump
sly devil.
Taxes.
And this was a point I was bringing up earlier, and I think it's still valid, that most people in the country, I believe, a lot of working class people, probably rely on their tax returns for them to get by. And so seeing Trump not having to pay an inordinate amount of money and cheating the system, which was fucking written for people like him to be able to cheat, by the fucking way. He's not the only person who doesn't pay their taxes. Let's talk about the corporations that don't pay their taxes. I think a lot of middle Americans or a lot of middle of America working class people are going to look at that and be like, like I just said, Trump's a sly guy. He got away with it, they're going to see that as a fucking strength, and it's not going to, it doesn't work. The mistake was the Democrats giving a shit about how much Trump pays in taxes to begin with. Like, that was the mistake that they made. And now they have to, like, live with this. Because it was never going to, like, regardless of how much he's being paid, it doesn't do anything with the fact that, like, Amazon doesn't pay their taxes. Fucking Netflix doesn't have to pay their taxes. Like, all of these huge corporations don't have to pay their taxes or, like, manipulate the loopholes that were written so that they don't have to pay their taxes. And so, like, Trump only paying $750 is immaterial to, like, or it's a drop in the fucking bucket to, like, the way the system has been fucking designed.
UPS doesn't pay taxes. And it's really annoying. Libs are getting their panties up in a knot about Trump not paying taxes. But JP Morgan just agreed to pay a $920 million fine today because they got caught doing market manipulation. But not a peep about that. Not a peep.
And those are more of the real issues that are going to fuck over people more than, like, how much Trump pays to the IRS. Like, that's not going to have an effect on working class people. Like these corrupt banks, these central banks, they're going to be the forces that hurt people more than Trump's fucking tax return or lack thereof.
But he's fucking orange.
He's a fucking Cheeto.
He's a Cheeto in the White House.
He's a Cheeto getting his Cheeto dust everywhere in that fucking White House, not paying his fucking taxes. Like, the gall of that man.
Literally, when I have conversation with my parents, like, literally anything I talk about, like, oh, isn't it, like, terrible? Like, the Democrats, like, they had a supermajority in the Senate, and they had a larger House majority than they did now, and they had the White House, and all they gave us was a health insurance system that is a market-based system dominated by private industry. But Orange Man bad. You should be grateful that you have it until you're 26. Orange Man bad.
Did they literally say something along the lines of, like, well, Trump's worse?
Yeah.
So they do actually say, like, Orange Man bad. Okay, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that and that I'm supposed to be grateful to Obama for that I'll have insurance for another, like, year and a half. And therefore, I can't talk about Medicare for all.
But isn't your current... All right, I don't want to, like, again, because we always talk about your personal information on the show, and I don't want to do that again. The health insurance that you're under right now, let's try to keep... It's because, like, it's your parents' insurance, right?
Yes.
Yes, because of your age. Okay. That existed before Obama. So I don't know, like, what the fuck? Like, what do you have to be grateful to Obama for that? I'm confused.
I don't understand liberals half the time anymore. Because they're just so consumed by the Orange Man. And
we got the debate on in the background, guys. It's a shit show.
It is. I don't even need to be able to hear them through my headphones, but, like, it's just hilarious watching them. Oh, he just brought up the crime bill. That's not going to go well for Biden. Yeah, so, like, they just have this obsession with the Orange Man that, like, consumes all of their attention.
Like, all the girlies say...
What about your social security check, Grandpa?
Fucking
Orange Man.
What do all the girlies say?
No.
The
time has passed.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Joe?
Yeah. There was also...
Quiet. What the fuck was that?
Sorry.
The spectacle gives the libs something to focus on so they don't have to focus on the systemic problems of capitalism. It's the spectacle.
Exactly. I was kind of hoping... I remember back in December thinking that, like, oh, they're going to have fun with their impeachment and then we're going to, like, win the Democratic primary because the libs are so obsessed with impeachment that they're not going to notice that, like, Sanders people are out doing, like, all this organizing and winning.
I'm sorry, but why the fuck did you think, like, why did you actually believe that?
I kind of agree. That's a little head in the clouds. I'm sorry.
Well, it was a year ago, and things looked different at the time.
But it's the Democratic Party, and they did it in 2016.
In hindsight, it definitely was, like, not the clearest thinking, but, like...
You're a historian, bro. You know this.
I know. I think
you've seen this happen before.
It's okay. Yeah. You had a failing. It's okay.
I think it was more me, like, wanting to see what I wanted to happen rather than me being objective.
I understand.
But the point I was trying to make before Jesse decided to, put me in my place here is that they're, like, so obsessed with, like, the spectacle of what's going on that, like, they're completely oblivious to what's actually happening. And they're kind of doing it again. It's just a different spectacle.
I didn't mean to I wasn't trying to call you out like to make you feel bad. I was
making a joke because like that was a necessary critique.
Okay, because I was curious. I mean, there might have been some kind of extenuating circumstance.
No, I just wanted to see at that time, and in retrospect, it was like I was seeing what I wanted to see rather than like paying attention to what was actually happening. And then by the time I noticed in late February that things were like a lot more precarious than they were, it was already kind of too late.
Right. So you did a little Trotsky there. You did a little oops.
Yeah, basically.
I don't understand what that means.
Did a little Trotsky.
Like,
you don't know what that means?
Referring to like the power struggle between Lenin and not Lenin, but like Trotsky and Stalin.
Well, I don't understand what that means exactly, so it's fine.
Because like Trotsky didn't see it coming until it was too late.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay. It was more of just what's the word? Utopian vision rather than more cynical.
Realistic.
We can just cut this out in post. I don't want to alienate all the trots. Just kidding. I don't care if like, come at me, bro, or sis, or comrade.
Guys, gals, and non-binary pals.
You know, we didn't even mention we haven't even gotten to the fact that, like, we have the prospect of, like, a really, really, really super devout Catholic with, like, 7 children. It's probably going to be on the Supreme Court.
I was about to say, can we get to Amy Coney Barrett, Coney 2012 Barrett?
Honestly, I've been reading her initials wrong, or like the whole week, because I see ACB and it keeps registering in my brain as ACAB.
Same.
Yeah, that happened to me today. Because there's already notorious ACB shit, and it's like, fucking what?
You mean like not
from
ironically?
Republicans? Yeah, from Republicans. I mean, not ironically, from the extreme devout Catholic right. They already are pulling out the notorious ACB paraphernalia.
That's weird that it's because
that's politics, baby.
Well, I mean, typically conservatism is united by this like Protestant evangelical. When Steve Bannon was still part of the administration, that was kind of the Steve Bannon conspiracy theory was that all of these minority populations are trying to propagate the agenda of the Catholic Church.
You see, 4 of the 5 current conservative Supreme Court justices are Catholic, so it's not really that surprising. Neil Gorsuch is the only non-Catholic conservative Supreme Court justice at the moment. And even he was raised Catholic.
Wasn't it supposed to be a big deal when, like, JFK was the first Irish Catholic?
Yep.
He's the only deal. Catholic president.
Yeah.
Is that what diversity used to be?
The joke at the time was that the president was going to get weekly phone calls from the Pope, and the Pope was going to tell him how to run America.
Interessante. Anyway.
Tell me about the Coney Barrett.
She is currently she's on the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, and she was nominated by Trump 3 years ago. She's twice joined dissenting opinions asking for decisions blocking laws enacted by abortion opponents to be thrown out and reheard. Last year, she was the dissenting opinion on a 3-judge panel that blocked an Indiana law that would make it harder for a minor to have an abortion without her parents knowing. She also felt that the Supreme Court should have taken up a case that ruled that Indiana laws requiring that funerals be held for fetal remains after an abortion or miscarriage.
So she's a psycho. Okay.
Yeah, that's essentially what I'm trying to say.
And that's the Supreme Court for you, baby. It's bad. Get rid of it. Or pack the court. I don't fucking care. Make it ineffective.
Fix it. Sucks.
It's like that clip in Futurama of Fry just screaming, "Fix it, fix it, fix it," over and over again.
You could just
basically
bring back the revolutionary tribunals.
How did those function? How were those awful?
However you want them to.
To the gulags!
That's the best part.
Oh, let's do it.
Anything else about all cops bastard?
She has 7 children. That seems exhausting.
That's like small for a Catholic family, though.
That's true. My grandpa had 6 children, so...
My dad was one of 7, I think.
Yeah, my dad was like 5 out of 6.
Fucking crazy.
I mean, one of my classmates in Gloucester was like one of 16. Fucking Gloucester, dude. Anyway, I remember my science teacher was like, "Man, your mom really liked to fuck, huh?" Like,
what?
Yeah, it's Gloucester Public Schools. Come on.
Yeah.
That's how you make friends in Gloucester.
It tracks.
Wet ass P word.
That's he claims to be a Jew. What a shitbag.
Word.
Ben Shapiro. I actually have a couple of things that are completely unrelated.
Oh, hell yeah, here we go.
But are still current events. They're actually both related to mental health, which I feel like we haven't covered enough on this podcast in our current events section. So the first one is I'm still getting Michelle Wu's city council notes, and one of the measures that was passed approved a grant for $106,000 awarded by the Massachusetts Department of Health to be administered by the police department to fund a full-time master's level mental health clinician to correspond with officers in police districts B2 and B3, and a part-time certified peer specialist. That sounds pretty fucking anemic to me. Does that mean 2 people? I don't know. You be the judge. Anyway. The second one was, as I've said before, I'm a member of Narcotics Anonymous, and one of the things that NA World Services does, I should say, is they oversee the recovery literature. They have these information pamphlets that anybody can order, but they're numbered, and the newest IP, number 30, it's called Mental Health in Recovery, and it was... See, like, NA is it's not a nonprofit or anything like that. It's a global network. And there are measures that kind of get brought up on individual and group levels, and then they propagate upward until they reach NA World, and then they go back out to the groups to get voted on. I mean, NA is by far more democratic than our own government. So basically, this is the result of what I would call a sort of ongoing internal dispute within NA about what the stance needs to be on mental health issues, as they were long considered quote-unquote outside issues, and led a lot of people to believe that medication is bad. It was certainly, in my opinion, hurting a lot of people. One of the things that I think still needs to be addressed is medically assisted treatment or drug replacement therapy. If you're on methadone, for instance, by the NA World standards, technically disqualifies you from serving in positions that require a certain amount of clean time. But I think this is still a pretty big step, because there are fucking millions of people in this organization, and I don't think I have ever seen a single addict that doesn't have some sort of secondary mental health issue, or even a primary mental health issue. Like, since I've been clean, my biggest issues have been coping with mental illness on top of the diagnosis of addiction. You know, when I stop using, I don't magically become restored to sanity, quote unquote. And I read through the IP. I'm not going to talk about it too much. But yeah, just continuing the theme of using this podcast as a platform to talk about making progress on issues surrounding mental health, I thought this was important to bring up.
I like that it's called NA World. Sounds like a theme park. I would go there.
Yes. And thank you for sharing.
Oh, you are so welcome. It's called NA World Services.
Oh, okay.
But I call it NA World because it's less syllables.
But speaking of theme parks, this is a current event I wanted to bring up. That Disney is laying off something like 30,000 employees.
It's 28,000, but that's close enough.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was rounding up for effect. Anyways, It's fine. Yeah, but the thing about Disney is they are terrible when it comes to labor. This can be seen in the story of the main person who played like the main Mickey Mouse at, it was like Disney World, or the one in California, Disneyland. They were making such little wages from their job at playing this fucking Mickey Mouse, the main Mickey Mouse, that they couldn't afford rent. They had to sleep in their car, and they starved to death. Died in the fucking parking lot where they were living in their car at Disneyland. This is the main actor who's playing the fucking character at the fucking one of their biggest theme parks in the fucking world. And like, to put it in context, like last year Disney made I'm rounding up, but last year Disney made $70 billion, and the year before that they made $60 billion. So Disney's not they're not, it's just they're making a huge amount of fucking money. They're not wanting for anything. They have as much as they fucking need. And if they cannot support their workers to the point where they're laying 30,000 off, then it just shows you the greed of capitalism.
Mickey Mouse should have pulled himself up by his bootstraps.
Wait, so
that motherfucker kind of did.
He died of starvation?
Yeah, the person, they starved to death because they just couldn't afford anything. It's an awful story.
I mean, it would be awful and egregious no matter how they died, but it takes a long time to starve to death, and it's gradual and awful.
With that said, I think the person either had a reduction in hours or had been recently laid off, and that led to the starvation. But yes, sorry about interrupting.
If you work in a fucking theme park. It absolutely fucking blows my mind that somebody could starve to death.
You want to know how fucking terrible it is to work at a theme park? Look up Brian Hall, okay? He's a guy who does Disney voices. He goes to theme parks and he just does the voices to the actors. And I'm talking about also doing the voices of black characters in front of the black actors who are playing the characters at the theme parks. These people have to put up with such fucking shit every goddamn day, and they have to smile for your ass. It's a fucking pain in the ass. They deserve a living wage.
Yes, and I learned this because I thought it was just a creepypasta trope because there are so many stupid creepypastas about Disney World, but that's rooted in how bad the working conditions actually are in Disney World.
And I'm very happy every time we get to talk about how shitty Disney is. There's also the story of the LA Times. The LA Times was actually trying to explore the very crooked labor practices at Disneyland, and Disney said, fine, you are now barred from viewing any of our films and reviewing them. That includes the Marvel movies. That includes everything, That includes, most Paramount pictures. That's a huge slate of movies that, they're cutting this publication off because they're trying to investigate their labor practices, and that's censorship. That's capitalist censorship.
It's actually worse. It's worse than just the Marvel movies and stuff. Disney raked in 50% of all box office revenue in 2018. 50% of all box office revenue in the United States went to Disney.
And one of the good things of the COVID epidemic has been the lack of Marvel movies this year. So
that's just because they're throwing in all the social justice warrior nonsense in there. See, people aren't interested in that kind of thing. They want to hear about ideas.
If
the dial of ideas was turned to low for the last few years, it's quickly moving into the hot position.
Hot ass ideas.
Mm-hmm.
My brain is still in recovery mode from taking in so many high-level important ideas.
We have sound drops now.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
I should get a buzzer.
Yeah. Wait, do you seriously, you have a soundboard without a fucking...
I made it all myself. I didn't think about having an air horn. Sorry. I'll put one. I'll get one.
Put one for next week.
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
No, it's not that you did, you didn't hurt my feelings.
We don't even need an air horn. We can just make our own air horns.
Beep, beep, beep.
Do it. Joe, I want to hear it from you.
I want to hear your air horn.
No, you're just wow, Joe. God.
Oh, we have a protester.
That was really quiet.
That's how you make me feel. See, yeah, that's the other thing is I gotta raise the gain on a bunch of them.
Do you have Audacity, bro?
Yeah, that's how I made a lot of these.
Download the voice leveler Nyquist plugin.
Okay.
It's what I use for... It's what I'm gonna use to make this part sound better.
Crazy. Joe, oh my God. Joe, do you have any more current events?
We've talked about most of the...
Joe, did you... Okay, you are there. Good.
Come back.
Playing with the Lincoln Logs,
Well,
dude.
it's not a tarantula, and it's not a hawk.
Coyote Peterson for you guys.
Right. There was one last interesting story left. 3 Pennsylvania state legislators decided to go topless to emphasize the importance of...
Now this is a story I'm interested in.
Covering themselves with absentee ballots and trying to emphasize the importance of mailing them incorrectly.
Where was this again?
This is the shit that actually
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm moving there.
No, but in all seriousness, I don't really give a fuck how you can radicalize people or how you can do praxis. Taking advantage of just chud brain to do so is still a valid technique.
Yeah, some people are chuds, and they deserve to be radicalized also.
It's the bro-aggressives.
Yeah.
Honest.
One of the city councilors, she said, the direct quote is, Do you want to get naked to save democracy?
Yeah, it's fine. I'll do that.
Yeah, hell yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Do it.
And the thing about the proletariat is, obviously he's bourgeois himself, but like the Joe Rogan mindset is one that I think we need to get. I think it's very gettable because Joe Rogan, he was pro Bernie guy, and so I think the average dumb guy, like we got to go for him. I think that's important. The swoletariat, the proletariat, that's like we should have it all. I
was in Hawaii a while ago. A Lyft driver who said that he loved Joe Rogan. He saw I was wearing actually it was a DSA event that I went to last year or 2 years ago or something. I made a patch that says she has my pronouns on it. It says she/they. And he saw it, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, Joe Rogan was talking about stuff like that." And he was like, it was kind of clear he didn't totally get it, but he was like, he had been exposed to the ideas.
See?
The high-level gender ideas.
The marketplace of ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. We see? But that's more evidence.
I just put the photo in the...
Yeah, I have eyes, Joe.
God.
I'm kidding, I love you.
You're so what did you say that one time? You said flippant or something?
Tarantula hawk. Well, it's not a tarantula, and it's not a hawk.
I don't know what I said.
Glib.
No.
Proletariat.
Yeah.
Anyway,
an army of fucking Marxist bros. What's bad about that? Come on, let's do it.
The dictatorship of the swoletariat. Actually, I can get behind that too. If we have a bunch of smooth brain Marxists with I don't know, 6-packs or whatever, that's better than none at all.
Yeah,
smooth brain Marxists.
I've known some nice bros who never meant any harm to anybody. They just need something to yell about and go woo. And if you give them,
let's make that the liberation of the global proletariat.
Totally.
The global proletariat.
The global proletariat.
Dun, 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 dun.
Joe, what do you got there? Coaster? Got a ashtray going on there?
Just playing with a nutcracker for some reason.
The Apple TV remote.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's not even remotely close.
The Apple TV remote. Ellie, you want to talk about some weird shit?
I do. The bad news is my weed guy is going to be here in literally imminently any second. So
imminently any second.
Yeah,
so
and
this is going to get cut out. Joe, did you see the video of Tulsi talking about how she is siding with Project, what the fuck is it called, the Vitalis or whatever the fuck? No?
Enlighten us.
No, it's fine. Because I don't really know anything about it. It's just that Tulsi is becoming more of a, fascist. It's fine.
I mean,
is your audio okay, Joe?
Yeah.
Sorry.
She always sounds like he's in a closet. It's fine.
I do?
Yes, you always sound like you're in a closet.
That's very weird.
It's fine.
But I
Joe,
was going to say...
Come out of the closet, bro.
That's not what I was going... I wasn't implying at all.
But I was going to say... What I was trying to say is that Tulsi's always kind of...
Project Veritas. That's what I meant.
Oh,
sorry.
She's working with those weirdos?
Yeah, she's been working with those weirdos. What is that guy's name? I forget his name.
James O'Keefe.
Yes, that's what I thought. Okay. Fucking guy.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Tulsi's kind of a bro.
She sucks. She sucks.
Well, she's definitely a bro.
I already am eating from the trash can all the time.
That's Tulsi.
She probably has a bigger dick than I do, bro.
Can we stop saying like problematic things related to gender on the gender episode? For God's sakes, Joe already said the Democrats are getting their panties in a bunch. Come on.
Oh, right, I did. Oops.
Why can we not? We can't normalize Tulsi might possibly having a big penis.
Totally fine.
All right, fine. Fine. If the person giving the presentation is okay with it.
Tulsi's always had big dick crypto fash energy to her, so
yeah, she does. She has big dick energy, and it's going to get her into trouble. Her dick's too big.
She's just becoming openly fashy now. I mean, she's always been close to Modi.
As a guy I knew once said, "Dick too big, drag on ground."
Dick too big.
What are the origins of that?
When you shit, your dick touches the water.
Oh, yeah. That could be a problem.
When I shit, dick touch the water. Dick touch the water. Nobody's heard? Okay.
Nope, sorry. I don't get the reference. Hi, I'm Elliot. I don't get the reference.
Man, this is going to be really fun in post. I can't wait to do this one. You know what?
Sorry.
That's sarcastic.
I'm not going to get into the victim mentality already.
Was that sarcastic?
I got to give myself some...
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Not great, Bob.
No, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a challenge. I'm going to succeed. I'm going to surmount...
Those guitars that are like double guitars, you know?
Double guitars.
Sorry. We're ticking around because Ellie's weed dude is hitting the spot.
He's not
It's
here
imminently
yet.
arriving.
I'm so confused. He said
Motherfucker, hit
20 minutes ago, and that was 23 minutes ago. I don't know. I don't want to fucking complain about my weed guy. He's great. He's really awesome. It doesn't bother me that he's not
He's just not a slave to the, like, capitalist notion of the clock.
I've literally considered becoming a weed delivery person. Like, I think that's going to be my next career.
We fucking condone the use of...
Sign up for that service.
It would be easier to get a job doing that if I lived in California, but I don't want to live in California ever again. Thank you.
Also, it's on fire, so...
That's true. That's true. My grandmother was just evacuated from her retirement home in Sonoma County because of fire.
I understand why people will, like, willingly live in California when it's on fire for, like, 3 months out of the year.
It's a big state. You could live, like, in the snowy part.
But it's, like, understood that it's going to be on fire at some point in the year, every year.
Maybe people are born there and they can't afford to move, Joe.
No, I mean, like, people who, like, willingly choose to move there.
It's nice. I don't know, dog. It's still like a city of, like, status. Gotta consider that.
But it's on fire for 3 months out of the year.
Fucking shit. Like, human nature... oh my god, it doesn't make sense. I understand. Like the capitalist logic that people are using to move to California means that the question that you're asking right now doesn't even enter their fucking head. So I can't answer your question because we don't have that mentality.
Well, I can say for one, like, I know a lot of the homeless, unhoused people in the Boston area, and, like, they would move to California because when they're fucking out on their ass in the winter, they're not going to freeze to death.
I guess fair enough.
Joe, we don't mean to gang up on you. We love you. I'm just saying that, you know, these things are circumstantial. And
I'm being overly rational, I know.
Most people aren't.
If you're homeless and you still want to smoke weed sometimes, California is definitely the state to move to.
Probably.
Oh, certainly. Tell me a better state. If you wanted to be warm and smoke weed, where else would you go?
No idea.
The name of this trash can is ideology.
Ideology.
Do you want to talk about weird things, or are we gonna seriously do the bird story?
Bird story?
Joe, you put the bird story in the Slack today, and I think it was a joke. Because I said we should have a segment on birds. I was kind of kidding. I wasn't really serious, but everybody like took it seriously, and so I just kind of played along. And then you posted a story about birds in the fucking Slack, and I was like, oh shit. I thought Joe was just going to talk about the birds that he sees in his car. That's what I meant. And then you like found a real story, and I was worried. It
was in the top headlines. I just thought it was.
You took my joke very seriously. I guess it was good. So, but talk about birds.
Could talk about birds all day, man.
I could, if you want, I could do my Rabid Radlibs segment before we get...
I'm being an asshole. I keep forgetting things. Sorry.
I'm still laughing about Scott freaking out about birds.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck birds.
Scott, you're the host. What do you want
Jesus
first?
Christ, Mike. Who is that? Bindi? Squirrel? I don't know.
This segment
is it okay if...
Something.
Ellie, would that be okay if you did rad the rads?
If
you did the rabs and then we did the weird things and then
ideology, do it.
And then went into your thing.
Ideology.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out on the fly.
Ideology.
We're not constrained by the capitalist concept of schedule and agendas.
Coherence.
I'm Jesse, and this is Rabid Radlibs.
Come on, man.
Rabid, what am I gonna do with the magic?
So, the phrase I wanted to touch on today is, we need to prosecute cops for breaking the law.
I agree with the statement, though.
Well, you can eat shit, and I'll tell you why.
So I'm sad.
This is a thorny one.
No, I don't think I will.
I got to guess.
So to me, in my opinion, asking the criminal justice system to punish officers who mistreat civilians is it's like asking the military to punish soldiers who mistreat civilians in occupied territories. Like, they're not going to fucking do it. It's part of the job. The system is broken. The individuals who enforce it are immune to its consequences because they are mandated to overstep the boundaries outlined by that system in order to enforce it. I mean, Carlene was telling me about what you saw you said a cop had a gun. What was he doing? He was a traffic officer. He was like that cult guy in Russia, but he needed a gun to do that job, apparently. Oh, and he had a taser, too. Traffic officer. Laws are primarily written in the interest of capital, or to protect the ruling class who control said capital. Wealthy civilians always have the strongest legal protections. And with this recent ruling in Louisville, they installed a militia in advance because they knew shit was going to pop off. And they did so in order to protect the elite from the justified violence of the common people. Let me say that again. Justified violence.
Justified violence. Hell of a phrase.
So again,
and it's true.
It's one of those things that, on the surface, you could say, yeah, I guess. But if you frame it that way, you're already making concessions. You're already saying the system itself is a model. We should be punishing people because of this. So what's
your alternative? Or what would be an alternative?
You know what, Scott?
Oh, shit.
Say gulags as an answer to this problem.
I think you're going to say gulags. I think that's going to come.
I wasn't, but I'm going to change my answer to gulags.
With kittens, right?
It's accepted.
Gulag with kittens?
Yes, actually, I've said this a lot in chat. Maybe I've never said this, on the podcast before, but my idea of the gulag is you have the gulag as normal, but in the gulag, there's, cute, fuzzy animals. So, I mean, yeah, you might be in a work camp, but you have a kitten or, I don't know, a rabbit, and that's it. I haven't fleshed it out any more than that.
Maybe a hamster. Teaches you how to
is that even a gulag?
Care for a being, and also it's
got a little pet.
Yeah.
And also the other thing I wanted to touch on, I saw a bumper sticker today that said "Fight Terror, Support Israel," and
wow.
And earlier I posted something in. I need to get through this. I posted this in the chat earlier, but I saw there was a Facebook post in a leftist group that was asking people what political opinion do you have? That's the meme where everybody has a sword pointed at you. So what I said was that it's actually bad to paint the Jewish diaspora into a political corner by claiming that critiques of Jewish capitalists or of the Netanyahu administration are anti-Semitic, to undersell the ethno-nationalist nature of Zionism, and to throw out the Judeo-Bolshevik identity because it was a catch-all for enemies of Nazi Germany. If anything, we can blame the American policies that forced Jews and Bolsheviks to erase their own past in order to seek asylum. It seems like Jews are terrified of any associations with communism now, which is a fucking shame, and I resent the people who perpetuate that dynamic of fear. Mic drop. That's it. I'm not expanding on that anymore.
I resent those people also, as it happens, as the other Jewish person on the show.
As the aspiring Jew, I agree.
Well, the great thing about being Jewish is you can just do it.
Yeah, you can just be Jewish.
Yeah, if you choose a denomination like the one I'm in,
it's going to take a lot of reading and sin.
No, you really don't have to. You can just start. You guys can all come to services I go to. They don't give a shit.
I mean, I resent those people, and I'm a Gentile. So, they're pretty terrible people.
Yeah, there's a lot of a lot of the evangelicals support Israel because they want all the Jews to be in the same place when
they want that sweet apocalypse, baby.
When Christ comes back, he can round all of them up. I'm serious.
That's why.
That's what drives the Zionism on the right.
They're all insane.
All right. Can I do my thing?
You got anything weird?
I got some stuff. I was going to ask you guys, do you think that my segment is redundant at all? Because our whole fucking podcast is called The Epoch of Incredulity, and incredulity is a base condition for most of the stuff we talk about.
No, you are a unique and beautiful person, and your segment deserves a title.
Holy shit.
Who's that?
Thank you.
What do you mean, who is that?
Thank you, both of you.
I co-sponsored that statement that Jesse just made. Second that.
I second the statement that Scott just made. Anyway, that's great. So
I was saying that I think every segment, but who gives a fuck? It's fine.
All right. Well, anyway, this week I just have a couple things. First thing
some
is
weird shit.
You can make this shit up with Comrade.
some shit that is real and weird. Yeah. So Twitter user Christine A, whose handle is _Christine with a K _A, had a tweet that I saw about some students at Brigham Young University, Idaho, having COVID parties, hoping to catch COVID so that they can get extra $50 when they sell their plasma to pay for their tuition.
I already am eating from the trash can all the time.
This isn't even late capitalism. This is like
regular ass capitalism.
No, this is like this is
a whole new level of.
This is after late cap. This is like fucking. This is like 4 a.m. capitalism.
Same as it ever was.
Yeah, that's fair. I checked on that.
Maybe 6 a.m.
I was not able to fact check everything in this tweet, but I did find some stuff that confirmed that kids.
The story's fucked, by the way. That's why it's right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's just a lot of levels to it, you know. There's a lot of levels to it. The other thing that I had was sort of twofold, but it's the same basic deal. Luxury air is a thing now.
Did you have like an Instagram story about this?
I might have. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think I saw it on somebody's social media, and I think I was going to message you about it, but then I totally forgot. So.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, no, actually, so that's one of the thing that I put on Instagram is one of the things that I was going to talk about here. But the other one is, I guess, so there's an LA Times article, and the headline is, the luxury air business is booming as many Californians struggle to breathe. And it was actually about a guy who, like the main guy that they interviewed is a guy who sells luxury houses, kind of, and they talked to him about how these deluxe air filtration systems that he puts in these houses, he realized that he could do that and have that be like a selling point and have it be an excuse to sell houses for just like, you know, this one house for $13 million. And it says he began marketing air as a health and wellness amenity. And like the thing that stuck out to me the most in this article was that when he was getting this idea at a house showing that he could like make this a feature, he said, "My late wife looked at me and said, 'Truly, the greatest luxury in life is your health.' And that just kills me so much." Like,
so American. It hurts.
So American, yeah. It's just like, oh my God. And then, okay, so the other thing is the thing I think you were referring to, Scott, which is the visor. I guess technically it's a visor, but it looks like a helmet. It's made by a company called Microclimate, and it is called Air. And you may have seen these things on social media.
Are pretty appalling.
Hold on, Air?
Yeah, that's the name of the product.
Sounds familiar. That's fucking. I think I've heard of Air before.
I know, right? But this is like Air with a registered trademark after it or whatever. And it's being marketed mostly to business people. Like all of the people in the ads seem to be guys with suits on, sometimes pulling black rolly suitcases. And I don't know, there was a very, very great article by, was it Barstool Sports? Barstool Sports' take on this was called, "I can't wait to stunt on you brokes in my Air microclimate helmet." And yeah, it's just great. Something that I learned from reading about these is that they are only they have like fans inside them to keep them. They have a HEPA air filter, keep you protected from wildfires and COVID and all that other shit. They have some fans to keep the front part from fogging up, but they only stay charged for 4 hours. So you better, let's see, ruinmyweek.com said, "You have to be someone important enough."
Ruinmyweek.com, what a fuck.
Yeah, I've never heard of this site before today. They say you have to be someone important enough to hire an assistant who can schedule your helmet recharges throughout the day. Pretty much just the kind of people with disposable income who don't care about looking totally stupid.
So this actually
sci-fi novel.
This actually did remind me of like a real product. Like I'm not doing a bit. I remembered. I think it might have been a Vice documentary about how like citizens in Shanghai were buying canned air, and yes, that was a real thing that happened. And I think it's still happening. It looks like on Alibaba you can buy cans of air.
Damn. And you just open them up with a can opener and huff them?
There's all different kinds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like there's some brands that are in China that are like Chinese brands of air, but there's a CNBC article back from 2015 about how Canadians are selling their air to China. So
Canadian air. That makes sense.
It's like fucking not a joke somehow. It's a real thing that's happening.
It's a lot less pollution in Canada.
Sounds like a lot like cheaper solution to like not fixing the air quality of China. To just sell like canned air.
Yeah, I mean it makes total sense. It kind of reminds me of some engineer had designed a personal like climate system that was supposed to eliminate all of the like climate destroying power of air conditioning and stuff, and it was just like a thing that you clip onto your wrist and it touches you and it affects your personal body temperature that way. So yeah, I mean right now I can totally understand why there's a fucking $199 helmet being marketed to people.
Reminds me of Total Recall.
It's very sci-fi. Yeah.
I should get some Arnold Schwarzenegger sounds.
Oh, hold on a second. It goes farther back than 2015. There is an article here from 2012. China's most high-profile philanthropist made another splash over the weekend by announcing he will set up mobile boutiques in Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou to sell canned fresh air starting September 17th.
Yup, oxygen bar.
Not great, Bob.
Makes me think of the episode of The Simpsons where Moe tried to rebrand his bar and just like turned into this weird postmodern. Yeah, you remember that
I'm thinking about that episode too.
And there was an oxygen bar, and Homer was like gets up from it and he's all mad, and then he's like, "Oh shit!" He has to go back to the oxygen bar.
Holy shit! This is like such galaxy brain shit. Here's the name of the brand.
Go off.
Shen Guangbiao Good Man Air.
Good Man Air.
You know those guitars that are like double guitars, you know?
You need more Simpsons things.
Is there like a bad man air?
It's just so...
Bad man air is what you breathe if you can't afford good man air.
Yeah, it's if you have poor personal responsibility.
Can that be the title of this episode? Bad man air.
Bad man air.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
This episode was going to be called Gender, but Bad Man Air. It's better. I like it better.
The king ordered it.
Great. Well, that's all for me. I'm Ellie Jean. You can't make that shit up.
Thank you.
Yeah. And now we go from Ellie to, I guess, Ellie.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I don't know.
How are we at this discussion?
We could always postpone it to next week.
How about that debate, Joe?
Yeah, did Biden shit his pants yet?
How about that debate, Joe?
Did his eye explode yet?
Unfortunately, well, it ended, so...
Yeah, try a bit, guys.
It's way too late for these motherfuckers. They're like way past their bedtime.
I have to accept it.
I'll watch it on like DVR and like tell you how bad it was afterwards.
I'm sure they had to take naps beforehand.
As soon as like I get myself super like I'm probably gonna have to drink my way through it.
Just rail Adderall until they fucking
until
they're redlining.
What is it? Matt Taibbi drinking game. Fuck that guy.
Wait, Matt Taibbi was the author of that drinking game?
Joe, talk about the Matt Taibbi drinking game. Why are you being quiet?
He's watching the debate. Joe.
Slack?
What?
Dude, you might need to change your input again.
Yeah, I'm worried about your input, Joe.
Joe, you talking?
No.
So were you just actually quiet for that whole time?
Yes.
What the fuck?
I was asking you questions.
Multitasking is hard, guys.
This is unlike Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, what are you fucking doing?
What, me being quiet is hard?
No, what are you doing, dude? Oh my god.
It's not like you, man. I'm concerned.
Yeah. Are you sure you're the Joe that we know?
What is happening right now?
Yes.
Wait a second. Remember when I can't remember which episode it was, but it was an earlier one where I was like, so what the fuck are the Q Anon people going to say like when all of the pedophiles don't get arrested? And this is what they have come up with. Now, everybody is actually a fucking clone.
Yep.
And the real pedophiles are in jail or whatever. I could not have made this shit up. Like, I assumed they would take it in another direction, but nah, they just held on to the whole...
still in recovery mode from taking in so many high-level important ideas.
Everybody's already been executed. Everybody, cloned and replaced.
That's
the latest victim was The Rock because of that video where he endorsed Biden. Because for a long time, The Rock was a neutral party to the Q people. So he was actually real. Now he's fake. Now he's a clone. And that's fine because clone has very good arm definition. So it's looking good.
Yeah, that's clone of Swole.
Swole ass fucking clone. Get a little talking heads in there. I am having too much fun. What are you watching, Joe? What?
There's no such thing as too much fun.
Says you.
Talk about.
Joe, what is going on with I think your mic keeps cutting off at the beginning.
Yeah. You have I think your input is fucked. You need to...
Yeah, I think because it's on the voice.
You have like a full second of latency.
That is good to know.
Now he's just gonna start everything like,
Whatever works.
Scott.
What's up, bro?
Do you have any movie recommendations?
Well, Jesus.
Comrade Scott tells you what to watch.
They were partially dependent on our conversation were it to happen this evening, but I guess it's not. And that's fine because it proves a few things to me. And you can cut all of this out. That we can have an episode where we don't really have anything central about. But more importantly, it doesn't fucking matter. And I'm just the recommended from 2014 Wild stars Reese Witherspoon. It's very good. Watch that movie.
You are now the one who's cutting in and out.
Am I?
You were, yeah.
For me, it's not just me.
I heard him fine, but if you guys didn't...
I heard him fine, so it's not a Scott problem.
Well, again, I'm on Ethernet, and I have nothing open.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Just tell me I'm beautiful and tell me it's going to be okay.
It's fine. It'll be okay. It's fine. I'll say it again. I'll say it again.
You're beautiful, and everything is fine.
Wet ass P word.
The movie I'm recommending this week is going to be, well, first of all, Wild, starring Reese Witherspoon, is from a couple years ago. And then also the movie Widows, Steve McQueen's movie from a couple years ago. He has a few movies that are playing TIFF this year that seem interesting. So that's why I wanted to recommend them. Do you guys have nothing else you want to talk about?
Why are you so upset?
I'm not upset. I just like talking to you guys.
I just want you to accept me, bro.
I just like talking to you guys.
Accept me for who I am.
Joe's being so oddly quiet tonight.
Tarantula hawk. Tarantula. And it's not a hawk.
Tried so hard for you fucks. I made 30 sound drops. Actually, I made 32. There's a couple I'm not including. But Joe, maybe we should talk about some birds.
What do you want to know?
What was that story about some birds? Some birds.
There were birds who were like swearing at each other.
Oh yeah, the parrots. The great.
Oh, the parrots were? That's so rad. That's awesome. Parrots.
They were telling people where to go. That's what the.
But I see it. Swearing parrots separate after telling folks where to go. Probably go fuck
themselves. Yeah.
Sounds like how I read it the first time.
I don't want to hear it, baby.
Such a cute, like, proper British-sounding headline. Like, really gets the story across without being explicit.
They are fans of understatement and euphemism.
Like, you eat a candy bar here in the U.S., and the back of the candy bar says, try all these other candy bars that our parent company makes. And if you eat a candy bar in the UK, you flip it over and it says, why not try? It's like, we won't be offended if you don't, but, consider it. Consider trying these other candy bars.
Yeah, they'll say that and then they still treat homeless people like fucking garbage.
Yep. And they just had that thing where the government put a whole bunch of rules about shit that can be taught in schools, and oh yeah, that made me mad.
Because I was reading Ninja's latest tweet, which is pretty interesting.
Ninja? Like the guy from...
Tyler Blevins, the one I am obsessed with. The perfect blue-headed boy. He says, Trump, in quote marks, what do you want me to call them? Biden/Chris, I guess meaning Chris Wallace. White supremacists. Trump, quote marks, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. And then Ninja says, what the actual fuck is happening? How can the leader of the... I don't have a Ninja voice. How can the leader of the free world not just condemn white supremacy, yet instead tells them to stand by? So I guess Ninja's... He's getting woke. That's good to know. That's good to know, Tyler. I want to hear it. I want to know. Get woke,
baby! The guy who's in The Antwoord? This isn't the, like, terrifying tattoo
No, that's not that guy. That's not that guy.
Great.
No, he's like a... Fucking, he's like a dumb liberal.
Yeah.
Some of you people just about missed it.
So,
what was that? Is that the Macarena?
It's Talking Heads, dude.
How did I get here?
Whenever you play the "How Did I Get Here" clip, I involuntarily start doing Party Parrot. Like you guys can't see, but I'm doing Party Parrot. That's my
what is Party Parrot?
Party Parrot is when you like.
It's like the react with the.
What's the name of this episode gonna be again? What was it? Because I want to put it in the.
Batman.
Batman.
All right, perfect. You should maybe make a theme song for Craig at this point. He's the silent partner, you know.
He's a silent partner.
He doesn't influence us, but he helps us.
His theme song is Jesse doing death metal vocals of his name.
Mm-hmm.
And I just do pitch shifters, so
Craig.
That'd be fucking.
I should make a sound drop of you saying Craig.
Yeah.
That was the other thing I was thinking about, is making sound drops of things that we've already said in episodes, but that is a project that will take me a while. So
it would take me like 5 minutes, bro.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that I'm better than you. So just kidding.
Oh, we have a protester.
He's going to give himself infinite retorts.
Yeah, just to like,
bye. Go home to mommy.
Is that a good place to end the show, everyone?
Yeah.
All right.
Take us out.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, literally take us out. Just fucking
take us out. Fucking
you know what? You should do a clip of the Franz Ferdinand song.
Oh yeah, that's a good song.
And then you just do that at the end of the show.
What? Float on?
No, the one that's like it's called "Take Me Out." The one from 2000.
You said a Modest Mouse song.
Yeah, Float On.
I don't know what that shit. That shit's.
There's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's
all garbage to me.
What? Okay, I will agree. Franz Ferdinand, not very good, but Modest Mouse had some great albums.
They did.
Yeah, Mr.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So what if the guy threw a shoe at me?
Was that Franz Ferdinand?
Yeah, that was Franz Ferdinand.
That was good.
You know when he was famously a shoe was thrown at the man, famously?
2 of them.
Yeah. Joe, please tell me you remember this.
I do.
Or are aware of it, thank God.
And he dodged them.
And that's what he said right after.
Yeah. So what if the guy threw a shoe at me?
Because the reporters were like, what was it like to get a shoe thrown at you? What he said?
Yeah. So what if the guy threw it?
You know?
I dodged it.
A very laid-back president, you know?
Yeah, he was
so what if the guy threw a shoe at me?
He was a bro.
There wasn't that much brain activity going on, so that kind of helped.
Apparently he's what you call a bro nerd. He's like the guy who's on like the Harvard baseball team, you know? He's like very smart, but he's still a bro.
Same as it ever was.
That's totally W. They said he was very sharp and he like picked things up quickly and would, get impatient.
Yeah, but they have to fucking say, if he is the president of the United States, nobody's going to be like, well, he's kind of an idiot.
Well, it was The Daily Show, though. The Daily Show, that entire era was he's kind of an idiot. That's all their jokes.
That was literally... I had an entire book of Bushisms. Like, he was famously
Yeah, I was watching
stupid.
a video of Bushism. They're so...
Yeah.
Like there was a speech he was doing that was it was like September 15th. And he's like leaning over like literally 4 days after 9/11, and he's like leaning over the podium and like looking in the audience and be like, "Is Jim here?" And he's like smiling. It's like fucking so weird.
There was an entire NoFX album about how he's a fucking clown. Like that was one of the best albums that I ever listened to, especially as a kid.
Dude, even Tori Amos wrote an anti-George Bush song. I was really into her in high school.
Anyway.
Oh, hey, bird fact. Bird fact, party parrot is derived from Sirocco, who is a kakapo, who is that giant green parrot that tried to have sex with Stephen Fry's cameraman. You may have seen this video. If you have not seen this video, you should absolutely go on YouTube and watch this video. It's called Shagged by a Bear
That's too
Parrot.
much. That's too far.
No. I mean, what is it if the bird tries to have sex with you? Is that bestiality?
Did the cameraman consent?
No,
I
he
don't
did
think
not.
so.
He did not.
I'd like to recommend the movie Zoo. It's about the famous Mr. Hands case. Yes, it exists.
Is that real?
Yep, the documentary Zoo. It's more about like zooism, the attraction to animals, but it covers the people who were involved in the ring of zoos, as they call themselves, who were connected to Mr. Hands. So touches on it indirectly is about it.
Who was fucked to death by a tortoise. Mr. Hands. Mr. Torso.
And then there was a movie called The Death of Dick Long, which was made by one of the Daniels, which is also a fictionalized version of the story of Mr. Hands, which came out a couple of years ago. I'm recommending movies. Feels good.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it.
That goes on for 40 seconds. I'm not going to play all of it.
All right.
So we are having too much fun.
No such thing.
Shut up, Joe. I'm kidding. There is no such thing as too much fun. Human potential is limitless. So my name is Scott. You can follow me on social media at DeathMullet. That's on Twitter. That's on Instagram. You can follow our humble little podcast on Twitter and on Instagram. You can also find it on Patreon by going to Epic Incredulity. That is our name on those platforms. Please go to our Patreon and give us some money.
Give us $1.
Give us $1.
Give us all your
and
money.
I'll probably just say, fuck it. You can have our newly minted Patreon content at the $1 level, because who the fuck else is paying for things at this point? So please do all that. Joe, we're also on YouTube. Look up that shit. And Facebook, look up our shit there too. Joe, go.
Let me interject first.
And let Jesse interject Joe.
If we are to believe the labor theory of value.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
I put hours into this content. So
into the fucking content. And I put hours into my content.
And he wrote all the theme songs for
I did.
every little bit that there is.
I wrote them for you. I wrote them for myself, but I will pretend I wrote them for you. If you pay us.
That is a relationship here. They're for you.
It is not. Payment is not commensurate with market rate.
All right, fuck it. Ellie, go.
I'm Ellie.
I guess that means gifts.
Wait. We don't use that word anymore. You got shafted. Joe got shafted. I'm Ellie. That's about it. I'm here.
I think you said skipped.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm just still embarrassed about saying the G word on episode, whatever that was.
It's okay. It is a rare phenomenon that the tanky is the wokest. So you get a free pass.
What's the G word?
No, sorry. No, it's the Romani people. Romani people.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. That's a thing that I've been trying to stop saying forever and stop. I don't know. There's like this one song that plays on ERS sometimes that I really like, but she brings it up, and my friend Molly was like, "That's racist." And I was like, "You're right. It is." Anyway, that doesn't matter. I'm Ellie, and you can find me on this podcast. Thank you.
I think that was perfect.
Joe
Burns, why are you being so fucking quiet?
I'm Joe. You can find me on the internet. I'm sure you can figure out where. Not that hard.
Yeah, there's not very many Joe B's, right?
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
No. We love them.
Actually, no. Wait, who hasn't gone?
I think we all went. No, wait, Jesse. Jesse didn't go.
Close enough.
Some of you people just about missed.
I'm Jesse. I do all of the work, and I'm smarter and better than everybody else.
He does do most of the work.
It's fine to just skip over me. It's fine. You can find me on SoundCloud.com
You've killed the boy, did you?
Contingents.
/Contingents Boston.
Oh.
And please remember to hit up comrade-rosie.org. Go to the Getting Involved tab and select one or more mutual aid groups to donate to and or volunteer just a little bit of your time to. Everybody could use a little bit of help right now. So interdependence, good. Capitalism,
good.
bad.
Less good. And by less good, we mean terrible.
And that's your epoch for the week.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Perfect.
That's
a print.
Enjoy your epoch.
We didn't make fun of anyone, really, unfortunately.
We made fun of all kinds of people. Come on.
All right. We didn't make fun of anyone.
We made fun of each other.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Come on, man.
My phone stopped beeping already.
Why is your phone beeping?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Craig is still here. Craig!
Craig.
Get out of here, Craig.
He's still here. He's still here.
Wet ass P word.
I missed. I was hitting it so many times.
I just laughed so hard I farted.
Damn it.
Wet ass P word.